Mr. Cameron, I need you to imagine for a second what it's like to be me. What do you do when you're 12 years old and you're told that your sister is going to die? What do you do when you sit in the hospital room for days, and then weeks, months, holding a hand that beats and beats and beats until it's too thin to call a beat, not understanding what's going on or what's happening? What happens then when someone tells you it's too expensive to keep this heart beating, what oxygen really means? What happens when you don't understand the words, it's time to say goodbye? What happens then when your parents divide, when they tell you they're divorcing and the house you've called a home becomes a bungalow, then a council flat, then something else with less doors, less windows, 6 floors high and no garden for miles? What happens when you return to school and there's no way to express the feelings you feel inside, when you don't even know the words to describe what you think, what you feel? I'll tell you what I learned. I taught myself to turn the feelings into fists, because when you don't understand what you're feeling, you begin to fight it, thrash at it, you turn the things you feel into violence, and so the powers that be react. They push you further out, they don't stop to listen, they don't stop to ask, they stop to fight you, they stop to shout, they put you into groups with others like you that don't understand what they think and feel and fight about. What do you do when you're 13 years old and you're excluded from everything? When you look in the mirror and all you see is something you don't understand, something you don't recognise. What do you say to a 13-year-old girl when you're 13 years old inside? Grow up? Listen to me? Don't you understand what you're doing to me? I waited and waited and waited for something to tell me what to do other than stop being violent. I waited and waited and waited for someone to look beyond the burning inside, something beyond what I thought was me, beyond what I thought was true. It only took 3 years for someone to look beyond the fire, beyond the 60+ exclusions and petty violence, past the sassy kid and the piss-off attitude, and into something else, something beyond the surface that was layers deep. So when I started bereavement classes, I didn't even know what grief was. I didn't know the word. No one told me you feel things that have definitions, words. And when I talked, someone listened. Someone defined what it was I was feeling. I learnt to live through words, what they meant, how they defined what was happening inside. And I started to live through my sister's skin. I aimed to make her proud of me. I started to honour her memory. I let the grief move through me into something that meant something meaningful, something good. So when I look out now into the eyes of my 12-year-old self, I wish I knew then what I know now. I wish someone would have told me that it's okay to feel sad, to feel down, that it's okay to stop and listen to the sound of your heart beating, that you don't have to forget everything of her to remember you're still breathing. So school system, so marginalised worlds. Mr. Cameron, Michael Gove, what do you do for kids like me, constantly naughty? Do you put us into groups so extreme that prison will be our university? Or do you create a system that can look beyond the layers and layers of poverty and ask, what is happening to you?